Have you ever watched a film like The Matrix or Fight Club or The Secret Life of Walter Mitty and it had some kind of profound impact on you? Like it's showing you a life you could be living or something that's in you but you don't know how to bring out. With a film like Into the Wild, it might be living life by the seat of your pants and appreciating every step of the process. Or with a series like Peaky Blinders, there could be character qualities of perseverance, grit, and pushing yourself beyond your own limits. The same can exist in a simple film like Groundhog Day, in which a bitter weatherman, Phil Connors, played by Bill Murray, finds himself stuck in a loop, reliving the same day over and over, and nothing he does seems to change this. For many of us, this may be another wacky comedy of Bill Murray's, but at the same time, it's almost a philosophical exploration of what it would look like to live the best day possible, squeezing every last drop out of this one day. Sometimes we can watch a film and we can appreciate it as a gentle reminder of where we are in our lives, giving us some perspective and who we could become. Of course, much of the time we don't watch films in this way, but I extend an invitation to you to explore how art forms like film can call something forward in us and show us how we can become a better version of ourselves. For a start, it's worth asking what this profound experience actually is, or what it is that makes a film or a character resonate so deeply with us. Or similarly, listening to a riveting piece of music or reading a deeply introspective or stirring book, why is the experience so profound sometimes, and is there something here that can actually shape who we are? Understanding our emotional responses to these kinds of stimuli can serve as a window to our unconscious. That is to say, they can show us something already active or dormant in our unconscious that we may not be aware of. Looking a little more deeply at Groundhog Day, I won't spoil the film for those who haven't seen it. I recommend you check it out if you haven't, for Bill Murray's zany shenanigans if nothing else. But through the various ways Phil goes about his day, again and again and again, we can get a sense of what a fully lived day would look like. With this, we can reflect on our own day-to-day lives and consider how fully we are living our own lives. In this case, and in many others, the film acts as assisted introspection. That is, it calls to the surface something that we're already on some level aware of, something we probably unconsciously know that we're not doing as well as we could or perhaps should be. And the film or the book or the piece of art is pointing this out to us. You will notice that different things will resonate with you in different ways at different stages in your life. It always seems to act as a trigger for something that is already active or dormant inside us, telling us that we need to live every day like it is our last, or we need to appreciate our family and friends more, or we need to take ownership of the course of our lives, and so on. In this way, it is a window to our unconscious. So knowing this much, knowing that we're only experiencing this profound effect because on some level we're ready or eager to make a change, what can we actually do about it? This is where we have to recognize that our minds are like sieves. We can't expect to watch a film once and for it to change our lives. There are simply too many other things going on in our minds to stay focused on affecting that change. So at this point, I welcome the notion of repetition. Ritualizing the changes, that is, making a small but regular personal investment of our time and efforts, so that we can get our lives moving on the right path. Religion is a good example of how this can be applied. Religions are very aware that our minds are like sieves, and so their calendars and day-to-day lives are sprinkled with repetitions of the most important lessons. Christians and Muslims, for example, are known for daily prayer. Similarly, many Buddhists practice meditation weekly or daily. Weekly services are used as a communal gathering and a kind of official reminder of the values and character qualities they aspire towards. They use each of these repetitions, these simple rituals, as a way to ingrain the messages, remind themselves of what they're aiming for, making it a central part of their day-to-day lives. What can we as individuals, regardless of whether we are religious, what can we learn from this? Renowned physicist Richard Feynman said, "You do not know anything until you have practiced." A film on its own isn't enough, but if we identify the part of ourselves that is being called forth by the film or the music and so on, we can use this experience as a jumping off point to become the kind of person we aspire to be. Taking once again the example of Phil Connors in Groundhog Day, if we recognise he is living his day to the fullest, something that we have not been doing, we can use this as an opportunity to question, what does an ideal day look like for me? If I had to live the same day over and over for the rest of my life, how would I spend it and with whom? Or what kind of person would I have to be to live life to the fullest? By asking these sorts of questions, we can start to get some specific answers. Maybe we recognise that we're not spending enough time with our closest friends and letting them know how much we appreciate them. Maybe we need to spend more time learning to draw or play music rather than jumping between Netflix series. I know it's tempting. Maybe we need to be more honest to ourselves and others about what we want in life. And then the power of ritual or repetition comes in. What is one thing I can do today and every day to become this better version of myself? So if I lived every day on repeat, I would live each day more fully than the last. Some suggestions might be, take your dog for a mindful walk in the park each morning. Granted, the dog is probably pretty present already. It's us humans that need a good reminder. Secondly, sending a message to one friend each day to show them that you care. Alternatively, maybe setting aside 10 to 15 minutes each evening to draw one thing, so you're constantly improving your art skills and so you're forced to pay attention to the world around you, etc. And so, like Bill Murray, you can get a fuller taste of life each day. Then, can you build on that the next day and the next day? It's important that it's small. As James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, speaks about, it has to have as little resistance as possible, or else the mountain becomes too steep to climb. It becomes a drag. And so each time we watch a film, or listen to a piece of music, read a novel, and so on, and it resonates deeply within us, this is most likely something within you that is being called forth. Through the art form, part of you is recognizing itself, or rather, what it wants to be, what it could be.